Hey,
Welcome to the Fame Game with Heidi and Spencer.
we're here at our house. When we came back to do our podcast, we bought our own cameras to do our podcast from the house. And since this is the house, we're just going to keep filming here.
A lot's happened, and we're going to go through a few things in this episode. We have Brody Jenner's wedding coming up. That's exciting. We'll talk about that. We're going to talk about rebuilding after the Palisades fires, some pop culture moments, and our upcoming trip to Colorado. So let's get into the episode here.
Oh no, that's all God's.
What is your first subject you want to start with?
First subject. Well, since we've last podcast about a year ago, a lot has changed. Since then, Heidi has officially become a global pop star. Obviously, if you're watching this podcast, you're aware of that. So that's round of applause. One of the best things that could have happened. Also, our entire town burned down, except for our neighbors because they built a fireproof house. So shout out them. And they always told us they had a fireproof house. And hey, that's pretty much, I walked into a wall. So I'm getting my stitches out today. Pretty upset about TikTok. So the one we have is supposedly going to go away in March or April. And there's a new app called M that's going to be like the United States version of TikTok.
Oh, no.
This is all rumor. I texted my TikTok contacts and they were like, all we know is what you're seeing, but that could be not true.
Wow.
We got a dog. He's here. So if you hear some panting, it's because we have to keep him with us because he's a very special dog. Thankfully, he's the 2023 KNPV World Champion Police Dog. Very special. We could have never afforded him, but he got rehomed to us, which is just a miracle. So if you remember, we had the little puppy. It's actually our new dog's daughter. So our puppy is still in training, but we now have the world champion police dog right here. Feel extra safe lately. So that's new. We're about to go to Holly, Heidi's sister's wedding, which is very amazing that she's getting married. And
Should we talk about your head a little more first?
I was just kind of like hitting all the beats.
But we have a whole, that was the beats. I already did like the intro. Now
Sorry.
we're, like,
I'm just getting
in
edits.
episode. Maybe we should ask our producer here.
All right, let's start over. Here we go. The title of our podcast is called The Fame Game. We had lots of serious debates with ChatGPT Pro, and we landed on The Fame Game. So we named the podcast The Fame Game because no matter what level of famous you are, you're still playing a game at some tier. So obviously we're at a lower level. So, okay, we know there's like A-list fame game, B-list. Recently I was at an Airbnb event with A-listers and I was in like the Z, A, B, C, D, E row. So there's an E level fame. Cool with. What are we going to talk about on this podcast, honey?
So yeah, the Fame Game is a game that people play for keeps, and it's also a career. So now off of a Fame Game, it is billion-dollar industry. It basically is Hollywood. So, and no one has better insight than someone who has created the blueprint, I would say, for a lot of people, and continue to be a maverick and a trailblazer in Hollywood. So you are the perfect person to have insights. Plus, no one is more up to date on fame than Spencer. So we have our guru here. I will help also give perspective of that. And we're excited for this new podcast. It will also be all encompassing of
the main thing. We're launching our first ever YouTube channel with the podcast, which we've never had a professional partner like we do with Studio 71 to help guide us into making thumbnails and the right, I don't know, whatever YouTube people do, but we're going to do that. They had a whole building full of people, so that's exciting. We are going through a lot of very unique life experiences.
No one even believes the stories of last weekend, so we should have had our YouTube vlog up for it.
Well, we're currently on our set where we're going to hopefully record all of our podcasts because I mean, look at the budget we have here. This beautiful Heidiwood mural. Make sure you stream and download by Heidiwood. That's our main sponsor for this podcast. But yes, our house burned down. My parents' house burned down. All of my friends and family were dropped by farmers after the Malibu fire. So my parents had zero insurance. We got the only option that we could, which was the California Fair Plan, which gave us enough money to rebuild cement pilings that now would need to be required to be up to code for our house. So there's definitely no house being rebuilt in the near future. We are looking for sponsors for the podcast to put a nice prefabricated tiny home here to make our podcast studio seem a little bit more legit for when we start having celebrity guests here. They may want to use a restroom. Right now, currently you have to pee in the bushes, and I'm not sure we're going to get A-listers doing that, but that could be like kind of like a bit we do.
But yeah, it's been 6 months since the fires, and it seems like it was so long ago, and then it seems like it was yesterday. And I always think that I'm like fine with it and that I'm moving forward. I try so hard to be positive, and I'm trying so hard to look on the bright side, because there are a lot of positives, and I feel like our kids are acclimating really well, and you know, we've been so blessed and we're alive, and there's just so much with it. And then I come to our house like, just really like takes you back to reality, and it's such a reminder of just everything gone. But I do think that the kids, I think that Gunner might be in a place soon to want to come here and see the hummingbirds. Spencer's done such a great job of having Mackenzie, we love you, coming here and continuing to refill the feeders. And that was the first thing I thought too, and that we thought when we came here, like, okay, well, what about the hummingbirds? Like, we can still feed them. We may not live here, but there has to be a way to do that. So I'm so glad that you were able to figure that out. And, you know, you never know in life. We may end up living here again one day. Definitely not anytime soon, but it's a lot. It's a lot to rebuild everything. I still look around my closet and it sounds silly, and I'm so thankful I have new stuff that was donated, but it's like, it's not like my stuff that I've collected for 20 years or whatever. So sometimes you just like miss the little things. But then to put everything in perspective, it's like whatever, you know, all the things happening in the world and the situation in Texas, like, who cares? Like, we are alive and healthy. So it's a lot of different emotions and thoughts that continue to go. So I'm just trying to count our blessings and focus on the positive, and also feel my feelings, because that's also important to do, and not just suppress them. But it's just a lot. Just, we're great. Everything's great. Just totally fine. What about you, Spencer?
Oh my God, I'm so happy the dog's falling asleep, so now my mom won't complain about the audio. Hi, Mom. Hope you're doing okay. Thanks for listening. That's been the hardest, not to put any more pressure on my mom, but listening to my mom crying all day, nearly every day, which I understand. And anytime she says she can't stop, I was like, why should you? It's like, you're just turned 76 years old. This is the last thing, you know, you should be dealing with. So yeah, I focus on obviously the pop music stuff, but that's imaginary, like Heidi always said, and I can't play and pretend all day long. So that balance has been like the fairy dust is wearing off. As cool as it was to have Heidi blowing up all over the world and all these #1 records and getting to perform in front of 60,000 people in England and 20,000 people in San Francisco, and all these big things are so incredible. But would I trade them to just have our house exactly how it was with my hummingbirds and our world that we had worked so hard for? As incredible as all the music stuff is, you know, we're posting the most glamorous part of the pop stardom, but the reality is the first time we've ever had to leave our kids, which is so stressful to Heidi. You know, I'm handling it great, but for Heidi, it's like this emotionally draining thing because she feels like she's not being a good mom, but the reality is she's only doing this to try to get their house back. Our 3-year-old, he's not even 3 yet, but now he's crying, I want my house back, I want to go home. So this like part that, you know, the fantasy part is so fun, but the reality of your life being burned down, and you know, all Gunner's friends that he's had from preschool, they all didn't move to Santa Barbara. So, you know, he has all these, everyone's strangers. His whole world is strange. So it's like we're living in this weird
and that's what I always said from the beginning with the music. I was so excited, but then I've seen like that not translate. So people think like, oh, you guys can rebuild a house. We help you to get to number one. It's like, well, with streaming, there's it's hard. It's very hard to make money in streaming. And I could buy some new knives for our kitchen that we have, which is great. And we appreciate everyone's support so much because it does help build the future and the career. And it is only helpful, and everyone really rallying for us. I mean, I'll never forget that moment, regardless of whatever happens in the future or anything. That was such a moment of time of hope and uplifting. And, you know, that was incredible. But I also, in my mind, I've known that we've been some of the most famous people in the world back in the day, and it didn't translate financially. So I just was really weary with that and what we do spend money on and what we don't. And it's a lot to navigate through and figure out. But, you know, I also like a plan. I like to know, like, where am I going to be in a few years? And it's like, I don't know. We're renting a house in Santa Barbara that we don't know how long we can really stay there for. And then I'm thinking, well, Gunner's in school now. I don't want to move him back to LA in like 5 years when he's in middle school, which is such an important time. And, you know, come back to LA. And I don't know. It's just a lot to figure out. So I'm just praying about it. And I'm like, okay, whatever is meant to be, whatever we're supposed to do. It's not something I figure out. Spencer continues to remind me, like, you keep saying we have the future, like, or we have right now. So, you know, he keeps reminding me to be right here and right now. So that's what we're focusing on. And, but yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to be kind of living in ashes, so to say. And we're trying to get out of it and build our lives again. But it's definitely a lot to navigate through. But the shows were so fun, and it was such a blessing to have that moment of being a pop star and going to London. And I worked so hard for it. I had rehearsals 3-4 times a week. I've recorded a whole new album that's ready. I've just definitely been working really hard and trying to navigate that mom guilt and tell myself that I am working hard. And I do have that balance. Like, I am with them 4 days a week if I'm gone 3 days a week, and I'm trying really hard. But finding nannies and people to watch your kid is also really hard, right? Because they're your children, they're your everything, and if you're not watching them, it's a lot. So yeah, rebuilding that. But it has been fun to travel and to have that moment in my career that I never thought would transcend and transpire into performing. And that's such a different element of fame and being a pop star. And I do understand I was so nervous at first and so overwhelmed, and I didn't think I could do it. And now to look forward to it and enjoy it and the real interaction with the crowd and the feedback and the energy that you really, I know it sounds so like, Hollywood pop star, but it's true. And that's why everybody says that. And it's just been incredible to give those people who have loved Superficial for 15 years to give them a show. And that's what I'm giving them everything I have. Heidiwood and Superficial are similar and different with how we recorded them. I mean, it was Spencer and I, both ones as a team. Thank you so much for the dog shaking water on us. So we definitely A&R'd every album or every record as a single. And when you're spending your own money on music, you care so much more. So every song matters, every master matters, every mix matters. So we really treated every song like an album, and especially with the weight of Superficial and what a pop culture phenomenon it was, I wanted to give the perfect sophomore album that was still updated and new, not trying to copy Superficial, but being within the realm of that. And there's so much going on in the world right now that with music, I think it's really important to give that moment, to give that escapism, to give that fantasy, to just have a second to go into a different world, you know, with all the chaos of the world going on right now.
So on July 15th, it was announced The Guy You Love to Hate, my memoir, is dropping in the news. Not for sale, and that's next year, but that's been a lot of fun having my own memoir. Thank you. Appreciate you all. Hopefully you buy it.
So check that out, and we'll see you next episode.
We got to go already?
I mean,
Well, this is like a teaser episode. We had to learn how to light everything.
Yeah.
We had to get this set. So episodes in the future will be, ideally, we'll have sponsors.
we're eating all the food, drinking the drinks, whatever.
Reach out. That's why we start with no sponsors, just to like pace them out.
So we really want you to be involved in our podcast. Please comment, subscribe. We want to bring your questions on. This is the Fame Game, and you are playing the game. So let's all enjoy this podcast together.
Oh, so good, honey. Are we going to drop a game? Definitely should be a drinking game.
Ooh.
Yeah. Don't worry, the drinking game's coming.
Time pending.
Yeah.
Time pending.
It's, you can't copy a hard drinking game.
Stay
Stay tuned.
Jenner is getting married. That's exciting. We can't go because my sister's getting married the same day in Colorado, and we can't be in two places at once so far. So yes, we will not be there, unfortunately. I love Tia. I think she is an incredible angel. They are so blessed to have found each other. So congratulations, Brody Jenner. Congratulations, Tia Jenner, or keeping your same name. I'm not sure.
Tia Blanco Jenner.
Yes. So anyways, we're excited for that pop culture moment. It's going to be everywhere. TMZ already called us.
And I don't know. They asked if they heard Kylie and Kendall were invited. And I said, I'm not aware of the guest list.
Yep.
And we're ending a little early. We have emergency Botox appointment, and I'm getting my stitches taken out. So the one thing about driving 2 hours to LA, you got to do lots of things. You got to record a podcast. You got to get stitches out. You got to get Botox.
My Botox appointment was first, so it's definitely the number one priority. And we're going to Colorado, and my doctor's out of town. Anyways, the prototype,
So make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, subscribe to wherever you get the podcasts. We're definitely going to have guests here. We're going to get a couch eventually. Hopefully we get sponsors like Home Depot or somewhere, help us build anything,
maybe we'll even have a live event here. Who knows? Okay, live podcast. We can have a little barbecue.
That's a great idea.
Thank you. I'm full of them.
Kristen Cavallari and Alexander Cooper, these people have these events, these fancy auditoriums, but who has had a live podcast in a burnt out lot?
Yeah, we'll bring
the Fame Game.
That's right. That's right.
Stay tuned. Make sure to... Okay, we got to go.
We love you. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you.